So I attended a GameStop retro store, and I want to tell you about it. I'm actually surprised that GameStop is doing this, but then again, I'm not surprised because they know that a lot of games aren't going to be physical in the coming future. I don't care what anybody says. I know it's kind of disappointing to hear, but I feel like within the next 3 to 5, and I'll be generous, maybe 7 years, we won't have any physical copies of games. I'm starting to feel that. That's my gut feeling. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. So GameStop is trying to go back and be preemptive and get some retro stuff in their stores and actually, have some type of inventory in the brick and mortar, space. So I want to tell you about my whole spiel about GameStop, the retro scene and everything under that umbrella, and how did it go for me. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks for clicking on this video. If you found this through your recommendations, please consider subscribing to the channel and give me some feedback in the comment section. I do respond when somebody, actually give me any type of feedback. And I just want to thank you guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, and hopefully that will happen based on your guys' support. All right, let's get into this. Well, the GameStop Retro is a store. The store that's near me is not that near. It's not that close. It took me about 45 minutes to get to, and I was really interested to see if this is like a full blown retro store. Did they turn the actual store into a full blown retro store? Well, with any type of retro store opening, any throwback store opening, you have to build your inventory. And that kind of tempered my expectations when I got in there because I thought it was going to be like this place where they had all, retro stuff and or at least 80 or 70% retro stuff. And you was able to go in there and have a really good experience from a way back machine type of perspective. But no, what they're doing is in this particular store, I can't speak for all the other ones. The GameStop retro store is a store that they're actually starting to get inventory slowly but surely. And right now, the store I went to was like it was like a corner where they're starting to build like their stuff for GameCube. They're actually starting to get stuff for 360, PS3, stuff for the Wii. They had a good bit of Nintendo DS stuff, and they did have some consoles as well. So it was not just like just games. They had a few consoles and stuff, couple like I said, Nintendo DS handhelds, some Game Boy stuff. It was absolutely interesting, and it was kind of what I'll say. It was kind of surprising that even though they only had the small space to start out with, they actually had a pretty decent sized inventory compared to what I thought they was going to have like most of the store that way. I talked to the guy that was working there, and they said they're working on making more of the store retro size, like to the point where I think they're trying to do half and half, where they're going to still have one side with the PS5, PS4, Xbox stuff, and the Nintendo Switch stuff, and the other side is going to be the retro stuff, the old school stuff. And I think to be honest, I think that's the best way to go. I don't think you should turn the entire store into a retro situation because I think you will lose interest from people who want newer games. But I do see if they continue this route, at some point there is going to start phasing out, probably within the next few years. Like I said, once you get the PS6, the next Xbox, maybe not the next Nintendo console, but they're going to have less inventory to actually have the newer stuff, and they're going to end up having like more of the older PS4, PS5, Xbox stuff, and that's going to become retro anyway. So it's kind of like like I said, a preemptive, proactive situation what they're trying to do. I did get a handful of games there, which I won't show right now because I'd rather do that for my next pickup video. Let me see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I picked up 6 games from there, which one game was actually pretty interesting. I'm glad that I picked it up and I never played it, but we'll talk about that. We will talk about that at some point once I do a full pickup video when I get probably like up to a dozen games or whatever. And because I think a pickup video was six games. So I don't think that's long enough. But overall, the experience was actually pretty good. It was no different from your regular GameStop. The only thing difference is they have more retro stuff in it. I'm waiting to see if they're going to start getting more 6th generation stuff because I think the 6 and 7 generation stuff is the stuff that's really going to take off for these type of stores. If you go to any other mom and pop store, mostly I see people are trying to pick up PlayStation 2, GameCube, original Xbox, PS3, and Xbox 360 stuff. I've noticed there's been a surge of a lot of people picking up that era game 6 and 7 generation. Even some people are picking up Wii games as well. So anything under that umbrella, you'll be able to. I think they'll be able to thrive under that situation because even with all the other mom and pop stores, I still think that there's enough room for a GameStop to do this. Because in my opinion, as long as the inventory out there, you can't have enough, and it will keep a lot of stores honest. Even GameStop. I mean, GameStop can't try to jack up the prices on retro stuff if you have more competition out there, and vice versa. Some of these retro stores, which I don't want to get into too far because you just have to know what you're getting into. A lot of these retro game stores will try to get you, price wise. They try to feed off your nostalgia, and they will actually try to jack the price up to try to get more money out your pocket. This is why I was talking about the other day when I went to the flea market for the other pickup I did. I was trying to, I basically was saying that the guy that was there did a really good job of actually, putting, a friendly face forward and not try to haggle you. And I think that's some stores try to do that still, but it is at the end of the day is people are trying to make money. So if you want to make money, the best way I believe to make money is to have good competition and not try to get over on people when you're trying to pick up, games or whatever the case may be. So or when you see customers trying to pick up games. Overall, the experience was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually better than I thought it to be because GameStop nowadays is not like one of the best places to go to buy games. But this situation was actually pretty it felt like the old days of GameStop when you actually went in and actually had a pretty good experience of looking at games and looking at the inventory, and the customer service is actually pretty good, and the workers they actually like they wanted to be there. So it overall it was good. I don't know. There's another GameStop retro here in the area that I live. It's like another 40, probably like another 40 minutes the opposite way of where I'm going because I'm like in the middle of these two GameStop retro stores. One is in the south west of me, and the other one is in the northeast of me. So it's like two, they're like going, in opposite directions. But I may go to that one and see what they're doing as well sometime down the road. But I feel like at the end of the day, this is something that could work. Also, I didn't talk about the quality of the games were actually pretty decent. I will say that the games that I bought on the shelf, they don't have the cases correctly. They have like these old ugly looking GameStop cases. But the games that I bought, they actually had the full cases in the back of the counter. So they put the actual games in the case. The actual case was in the count was intact. So you got the real cases, the real the covers and the real manuals for the ones that had manuals. I think, matter of fact, I think every single game I had actually had an instruction manual, which was actually pretty interesting. I didn't expect that, but like I said, it was pretty. It was a pretty good experience. I will say that. I don't know if GameStop could build on this and make things profitable because retro games is a niche market. Don't know how that's going to go, but I feel like they have something here, albeit it's I don't think it's going to be that much, but they have something, and maybe they could do something with it. I don't know how far it will go because, like I said, retro game stores they do thrive, but when you're GameStop, it's a little bit different. They have other profit margins outside of what your mom and pop shop has. So that's pretty much it. I really I enjoyed it. If I have to rate it, I'll give it a pretty solid 7, 6 out of 10. It's still GameStop at the end of the day, but I did like the inventory. I did like the quality of the games, and the customer service was pretty good. So other than that, hopefully I'll see them expand. Maybe they'll do a half and half with these stores. And if they're able to do that, I think you have a pretty good balance of people who want to get the best of both worlds. So let me know what you guys think. Have you went to a GameStop retro store? What are your thoughts? What was your experience? Mine was, like I said, it was okay. 6, 7 out of 10, not bad. I did get some pretty decent games, which I will show later on in another video. And I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on on those games that I got and why I picked them up in a later video. All right, y'all, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all take it easy and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, I'm out.